Excuse me. Did I just burp like that? Y'all gonna every time I burp on a live stream, somebody say something with their little funky behind. So I apologize. It just came out. Live now. Like, share, and subscribe. Select all. Copy. Let's see, can I share the groups? Let me see. They wouldn't let me share the no groups recently. Let me see if I can share the Christian singles or mingles or whatever the hell. Let's see if I can post. Oh, okay. Look like I could share. Just going into my messages and I'm coming. I'll be right back with y'all. Did y'all thumb up the video? Let me put the poll up in here. Have you thumbed up the video? Start poll. Boom. All right, let me share this in my messengers group. Shit, hold on. Boom. All right, let me go over here. Okay, I'm Tazaryach TV. And last but not least, let me go ahead and pin my number to the top. And I think we are ready to rock and roll. Let me pin the message. How y'all doing this morning? Black man, what do you say, Chicago school won't respond? I don't know what number you calling for Chicago. Just text me, and you text me your number. I'll get them in contact with you, brother. Was that video with Wack? Nah, that video with Wack wasn't old. That video with Wack was yesterday. That video with Wack was yesterday. Wack got mad. I'm gonna tell y'all where Wack got mad. I'm gonna show you. Hold up. So I put this video on my page yesterday. Where you at? This is the video I put on my page yesterday. Before I play it, I'm gonna read to y'all what it says. It says, I didn't make this video right here, so don't get mad at me. There's a reason the NOI accepts white people, though, even though they act like they don't. So I'm going to play the video so you can see why he got mad. This is the video.
I need y'all to guess. This is a guessing game right here. Black card revoked if you don't know who dad this is. Y'all know who this man fathered. Y'all know. It's a guessing game. Y'all got about 2 more pictures. Look at his face. Can't nobody get it? Y'all, you give up? You give up? Okay. Farrakhan, bro. Farrakhan daddy is a full-blooded white man. Born in Jamaica. Look at him. Percival. He died in 96. No, the dude was only, he ain't have a daddy but 2.5 years. So we go from one white man finding out that NOI is just a white organization at this point.
Satanic Jews.
Y'all know who that is right here?
So, now,
y'all know who that is? Y'all know.
Farrakhan said this about himself. So, yeah, Wack got mad about that, man, but Wack just had to deal with it. I'm sorry. You know, and Wack said, because Wack cool with the Nation of Islam, too, so you can't really get, you know, I don't know what to tell you about that. So, but I thought it was good. I thought it was good. You got to understand, like, I'm mad I keep saying you got to, hold on one second. You can't, hold on one. When Wack, you got to, so when it comes to Wack or people in general, like, Wack is going to use stuff for content. So me putting that video out is a good conversation to have. And if you ever hear when Wack talk, Wack going to tell you, he said he going to come at me because he know other people want to come at me, but they may not come at me because they might be a little intimidated. He ain't intimidated, so he having a conversation that he think other people want to hear, but he lost that conversation. I had to remind Wack. I had to tell Wack, I said, Wack, you do know we met with me crushing Muslims. That's how me and Wack met. And the crazy part, when me and Wack met crushing the Muslims, I brought out how far Muhammad was a white man too. You know what I didn't know at that time? I didn't know that the Nation of Islam teaches that the original Muhammad was a white man too. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know? I've played this on my Car Chronicles. It's on my Instagram page. I've played this a couple of times. Did y'all know that they teach that Muhammad is a white man? Y'all didn't know that? Boy, let me see if I can find it. And you know who sent it to me? A fellow NOI member. A fellow NOI member sent it to me. What's my man Cam? What do you call this stuff? West Coast Cam? West Coast Cam. When I was dialoguing with West Coast Cam, with him with the Muslims and stuff like that. Okay. Good. All right, so I'm gonna keep your number there. So I got your text, so I'm gonna text you after this live. So when I was debating West Coast Cam, I'm just waiting for it to load up. He's the one that sent me the video where Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan is teaching that Muhammad was a white man and he was the best white man. I had to tell Wack, the truth can never be considered disrespect. So if they accept white people, they accept white people, man. Shout out to XYZ, man, with the super chat donation, man. If they accept white people, why you get mad at me? Because they accept white people. And I'm just calling them one accept white people. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do with that? What are we supposed to do? Say, listen, I said, I'm waiting for it to load up. I don't know why my damn Instagram acting up. Oh, here we go. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Tobiah from Ohio.
What's going on, brother?
Nothing much. How about how you doing, sir?
Yeah, about Shema Shabrakatah. Are you listening to me on the live or on the phone? Shout out to Mawasar with the super chat, because if you listen to me on the live, you're going to have a delay, brother. Just listen to me on the phone.
Okay. Because I got two phones, too, so I had you on the one phone.
Yeah, just talk to me on, just talk to me on the phone, though, because they can hear you, and we're going to have a conversation, so that way it's not delayed.
Oh, okay. This is a little bit off topic, but
that's fine.
I was just with that Dr. Umar thing. I was listening to you and Tommy. Right. I get what you were saying, but on the flip side, this very same thing that Dr. Umar going through, I went through, and there was a point that was made. There was like, why wait till the baby's 13? But like my son, he's 17, right?
Right.
And I done fought for him. I done took the mama to shared parenting, which is in Ohio. Basically, that's what parents can argue to get visitation, because in Ohio, unless you're married on paper, the woman gets 100% custodial rights.
Damn. So you're saying in Ohio, unless you're married, so like if you're just a boyfriend and girlfriend in their eyes, and you're not together, she gets 100% visitation rights?
100%. You don't have visitation and child support are two different court systems. You can't even get any visitation, period. You have to establish that through the courts. So it's like every state is so different. And I mean, it's like you trying to pay child support, you trying to pay your bills,
Right.
It's kind of, I made my mistakes, but it's like the women are still holding on to grudges to this day. So now that my kids are of age, it's kind of, you give it to me now when they're in the teenager stage. So it's kind of hard to even build a rapport because they just want to be with their friends anyway.
But when you say,
So
I get everything that you're saying, but where did we say something? Are you saying we said something outside? Mika, get that men do better out of here. This ain't got nothing. This is a wicked woman. But when you saying you was seeing what me and Tommy was saying, what are you saying? Or we said something in contrast to what the point you're bringing out?
Because the shit is messy, no matter how you flip it, and he shouldn't say something. But then the question is, so many dudes is going through the same shit and don't nobody say nothing.
Oh, so you saying like him going public with it?
Yeah, because it's like I watched a podcast with Anton Daniels, and they said you own half a deadbeat if you pay child support. And I'm
they said what?
They said if you don't pay child support, you don't just spend time with your kids, you're a full deadbeat. But even if you pay child support,
if you pay child support, you still looked at it as a deadbeat by the mother. It's not even a win-win for a father when that child is separated from him. The father, it just gets violated regardless. Like we all know men that pay child support, the mother be asking for more money. When he don't get the money, now he trash. If you're in that state of Ohio, like you said, you got to fight for visitation rights. The hell that fathers have to go through is insane.
They don't tell you about.
You said
you have to pay $700 to file the paperwork. Then you have to still go to court. And every time we would have, they don't bring the kids, I have to miss work to go to the contempt charge, and all the magistrate does is say, well, he got to see the kids. Nothing happens. But when I miss child support, I got to get threatened with losing my license, which is dumb enough that I drive for a living.
Right. So now you can't even do your job.
Right. So it's like my child support is $1,200 a month for 3 kids.
God.
And then they just changed the law because my boys, they turn 18 this year, but they juniors in high school. They mothers, they have to file an extension with the county on whether they're going to prove that the kids are still in school until they're 19, and then it stops. So like they keep changing the law too. So the reason why I was saying, like, it gets to a point where it's like, you know, the white man changing the game as we play.
Now, your kids with all are your kids with all three with one woman?
Nah, just 2 different sisters.
2 different sisters? Okay. Damn.
And you see that? I call them bitches. I never.
Now, do they put you through hell?
Well, to me, if you don't let me see my kids, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So they don't let you see the kids, even though, but they're old enough. Like they don't try to see you. Like break that down.
Well, that's okay. So I came to the truth in like 2016. So I started, you know, no pork, no Christmas, and they started saying it's kind of like, you know how they say, do you want to go see your dad, or versus you want to go see your dad?
I got it. Cause you go see your dad, you go see your dad. You ain't gonna have this shit this sin that's over here. You ain't gonna have if you go see your dad.
So child support don't give a damn about how I live. You know what I'm saying? So then what they did was for Halloween, I had pulled my kids out of school when I had the child order, because, you know, the white man system, they split the holidays up.
Okay.
And you tell me how to spend my holiday with my kid, and they was using that. And so it's like,
you heard what he just said. Listen, man, this is why when I say you put me on child support, I'm not seeing the kids. He just said the courts control the holidays. So imagine you in the world and the court is controlling whether you get that child on the 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Christmas. That's hell.
Yeah, so that one dude you was talking to, I could get where the dude was coming from. It was like a week ago.
Yeah,
he was saying, you wrong. I told him, you don't get both. Either you let me take care of my kids, or you want the white man to do it, then you get that shit.
That's it.
You try to do the extra, because girls kept telling me, you need to do more. You need to do more. You know how much I'm banning her ball now. The stress.
Why don't the mother ever have to do more? Why the father have to always do more? You ever notice that? Everything about it, you got to do more. You got to do more money. You got to spend more time. But it's controlled by what I allow you to have.
And then I had to have a bigger place. I'm a single man. I'm cool with a 1-bedroom apartment. But if I got my kids, I want to be comfortable. So I had a townhouse in the suburbs. I had the whole decorated. You know, I still got all the pictures now. So it's just like I've been telling my kid, like my one son, he will deal with me. But the other two, they got so much resentment. I can see them doing the same stuff his 22-year-old, Umar's 22-year-old was doing. He didn't do this. Like my one son, we had got into it. And he talked about some, I was beating on his mama. I said, boy, you a kid. You don't know nothing I was doing. You wasn't even, like, what are you talking about? So I know they bad talking. You know, your dad crazy.
That's the hell. And that's the hell. That's the hell you got to go through. If I could sidebar, what I loved about my mother told me when I got older, she said that, you know, there was a lot of things I hated about your father. There was a lot of things I said about your father, but I never heard her say it. She said because she didn't want our opinion of my father not being there and stuff like that. She didn't want her pain or frustration. She didn't want us to have that image of it. Like my mother's, I always talk, I laugh with my mother because she said, you always call me that funky ass Christian. And, but my mother is an exceptional mother because when I hear stories like what you're going through, when I hear other people's stories, my mother never put my father on child support, even though she had 3 children, raising them by herself, living back with my grandparents. So I lived with my grandparents my whole life up until I went to the military. So the way my house was set up, so my mother's side of the family, they had bought this house. It was like it was a 3-story, it was like 3 apartments and then a basement. We fixed up the basement for my cousin Robin. She stayed down there. And the first and second floor was my 2 aunts. The upstairs were my grandparents and my mother. And so we stayed upstairs. And so that's how we lived. So I never went through a whole child support, never heard my mother talking shit about my father or anything like that. And I don't even realize, I don't think mothers 98%. There's only 2% of fathers that really abash their baby mother. Even like right now, you didn't call her the woman B words, you called them sisters. You said, see, I ain't even calling them the B word. You call them sisters instead. It's the mothers that have this unhinged vitriol, which is actually on the subject of 2 things I'm going to talk about women being held accountable. And they don't even realize the poison that they putting in the children when they continuously talk about the man that they want their son or daughter to love, because they make it personal. And that's crazy.
And to that point, that's why when you guys when we tell everybody sex is marriage, that shit hits so much harder now.
Yeah.
Because boy having sex with 2 women I had 0 intent on being with. And that's an 18-year sentence.
Exactly. And I'm glad, and this is for like the women listening, because this is the difference between men and women. You see how accountable this brother was just now? This brother said, and that's why the importance of sex is marriage is important, because I slept with 2 women I had no intention of being with, and that's an 18-year sentence. That's a far cry from where most women don't accept accountability. The only nigga I know recently that ain't accepting accountability is that Ariella cat that beat his woman and act like he ain't beat the hell out of her. Outside of that, most men, they accept that accountability. This brother just accepted that he made that mistake. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's all I want to say. And you were right when
hold on
that
one second.
brother's going.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Caller, hold on.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and finish, brother.
It basically sex is marriage, and it's like no matter how much right you try to make amends, they are so smitten in it. But I get it. I was telling them all types of nasty stuff when we was, making them babies. And I was lying, and I deserve everything. But it'd be like, at what point y'all still holding on to this shit from 2005? God damn.
A woman scorn, brother. It'd be rough sometimes.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the call, brother. All right, no sweat. Take care. Shalom.
All right,
you too, shalom. All right. Next call is 312-672.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me good?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, it's nice to meet you. I was at work and I happened to scroll and see your content. I
Okay.
try and stay out of content like this, but um, I'm glad that the last mail, I think it was the last mail, where he took accountability that, it's my fault because I had sexual intercourse with these women,
Right.
because that's something that I was pointing out. And I'm just going to be honest. I feel like there's a lot of hate towards women, but the hate that is towards the women is being guided based off of the woman that the male decides to sleep with. So if you meet someone naturally, men are attracted to beauty first. They don't really ask you the questions that they need to ask you first. They just, oh, she's beautiful, right? And then I think after that, it's more of like, oh, they get into sexual relationships without vetting properly because a lot of women are taught at younger age you need to vet properly. You need it's your fault if you pick the bad male, right? So I think these men are getting into relationships being misguided based off of the beauty of the woman. And then when they have children and they procreate with these women, it's like, oh, I should have never dealt with you. And then, there are women, I'm not trying to, play that is advocate. There are women that do utilize like, hey, I'm gonna keep your son from you because you cheated on me or because you did that.
It's a lot of
And it's
women
not
that do that.
necessarily
There's a lot of women that do that.
but that's why I stated it's based off of the woman that you chose them to lay
So
with.
what
If
account?
you're
So
more
so my only question is there any accountability that women carry?
Yes, the
Okay.
accountability is having to have 9 months of being pregnant. The accountability is understanding that you had sex with someone without vetting them properly. The
So you're
accountability
saying it's the
is you're
same
taking,
accountability.
yes.
Okay.
And
So
he
I could
mentioned
go
he
ahead.
has to pay
Wait
child
before
support, and I do
before
apologize for cutting you off.
no, no problem. Just
No, go ahead.
before you get to
No,
the
go ahead.
child support part, because if you're saying they both have the same accountability, I'm agree with you
Mhm.
100%. Nobody is absolved. The man is not absolved from the mistake from the bad judgment that he made, and neither is the woman not resolved from the bad. They both made a bad decision. Just like that man
Mhm.
knows that he has no intention of being with this woman, that woman knows that she has no intention of being with him. They just want to have sex.
Mhm.
And the horrible part about having sex is that when you do it irresponsibly or responsibly, a child can come from it. So if you know that when you're having sex with somebody that
Mhm.
you don't want to be with them, we should all think twice about who we have sex with. If you're not gonna stay with that man, don't have sex with that man.
Mhm.
That's how we're
I
supposed to be
agree
taught.
with that, but the problem, I'll use myself as an example, okay?
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
When I was growing up and I was watching my father treat my mom with respect, leading off of integrity, being a good, upstanding male, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that I was sold a lie from birth. I'm growing up, my mom and dad, they're buying me my first baby doll. They're teaching me how to, while my brothers are outside playing, I'm inside ironing clothes, I'm inside cooking, I'm inside being quote unquote wife material, asking, they're teaching me mannerisms at a young age. So when I ended up meeting my first partner, I've been only committed to one male my whole life. I met him from 16 to 28, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I ended up meeting the first person that I got with, it was different because the males of generation back, my mom was born in 1942, she's 82. So the upbringing of how she brought me in the world is a little bit different. So when I got out there, I'm just like, whoa, this is completely different. The morals, the integrity that I led with is different for men. So as a woman, you're already naturally being pre-programmed to be wife material and to have goals. But men are not being taught the same thing. So when you get with a male and you're saying like, oh, well, women, they're going when you mentioned about women being more of like, hey, these we both wanted to have sexual intercourse, stuff like that. Men will love bomb the fuck out of you. Excuse my language. They will. They'll sell you sweet nothings. And he even stated that he knew what he was doing.
But so
And I'm
now,
not
if
trying
but
to.
if I could, you said you've been with this man since you were
Yeah, go ahead.
16, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did your father
Lost
choose?
my virginity and everything too.
Did your father choose this man?
My dad, I'm just being honest, no. My dad didn't want me with any male, honestly.
So
Like,
okay.
so it didn't
Think of.
matter what male came, it was
Thank
a
you.
no.
And you know why? Because you were 16. So as you're telling your story and you saying how you were raised, I would say you disobeyed your parents. I would say you did not listen to your father. You were not ready to be
Mhm.
with a man. You how could you pick a man at 16? Your father should have picked your husband at 16. Now, it's applaudable because I believe you said you've been with him till you're 28, right?
Yeah.
Right,
Hmm.
and so you're still with him. So it's applaudable that you're
Okay.
still with him. But the gripes that you have of men would not be the gripes if you let your father pick the man that you have. Now I don't know if if you're speaking about how your husband is treating you, but if you're saying that the people of this day don't have the example of what you were grown up with, I would say you left that and went against your father's wishes and
Hmm.
then chose a man on your own. So even though you grew up the
Good. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm
hmm
really
hmm
because when you're 16, and this goes for male and female, you're already so back in my dad's time frame. Once you seen a woman, and they married early back in those time frames, but once you seen a woman, you would vet her, you would take her out. There would be chaperones to watch what you're doing, how you're maneuvering, making sure everything is safe. So I come from a line of different dating versus how normally 16-year-olds will meet up. They'll tell their parents, hey, I'm going to do this. And I get what you're saying as far as, oh, well, you should let your dad chose. If my dad could choose, he probably would have chose someone on the missionary board. If I'm just being honest, someone that I can't morally correlate to. But
when you
even if
say
that is the
morally
case,
correlate
men
to
are still
when you say morally correlate to,
because
what do you mean?
I'm saying let's just say, I'm just going to give an example. Let's just say if the male is 24, but knowing good well, my dad, he was older, so he was around older men.
And
So there's pretty much
how old was your partner at the time when you was
my partner. He was 18, so I was 16. He was 18. He was
mm-hmm,
only 2 years apart.
mm-hmm,
But what I'm saying is, for the situation of itself, man, when you start to think about dating as
mm-hmm.
a teen, it starts when around 16 to 17, when you're starting to date. And that goes for men too. They're having different situations where they're trying to correlate, they're having sexual like tension going on around that age. So naturally, it's okay for people to date. I'm not saying have sex. I'm talking about dating. It's okay to date because that's how, if you don't date at younger age, you don't understand. And this is
That
a prime
no,
example for myself too.
right, but so now
Oh,
do
go
you
ahead.
feel I don't know how much of experience you have in dating because you got with your husband at 16, right?
Yes, I got with him at 16.
Right. So when I'm saying experience, I don't know if unless you was just out there running the streets crazy, I would say that you're inexperienced with dating because it would almost seem, and I believe you said he was your first person, he's the only person you've been with.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's
Correct.
and I applaud that part. You know what I mean? Because
Can you close my door, please?
a lot of people don't have that part. But I don't know if you have experience in dating, and as far as personal experience in dating, to have met
Mm-hmm.
your husband at 18, excuse me, 16, and then stuck with him. The part that I was talking about was
Mm-hmm.
when you said you was growing up with your parents, you didn't abide by your parents' rules as far as letting your father pick. Like you knew that did your father approve that guy that you was with?
So my father did approve, but obviously we couldn't do, like I said, I wasn't trying to do sexual things anyways.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
my upbringing
you
is
don't have
different
to
from a
tell
lot of women,
just so you know.
So
No, just so you know,
he
you don't
did
have to tell me
approve
you
and he
don't
was
have to tell
chaperoning me.
yeah, just so you know, you don't have to tell me anything about your sexual experience. I don't want to know none of that. I'm just asking, did
Of
you
course.
right, I just asking if your father approved of it.
Yes, he did.
Now, he
But
approved of it after he
I
knew, or did you go to him first?
no, I went to my dad first. I had a great relationship with my father. I
Okay,
would
so
tell my dad a lot of things because he provided me a safe place and
Okay,
he
so that's
provides me
slightly
comfort to
different.
comfort
Okay,
him.
so that's slightly different. Earlier you gave, and maybe my audience could tell me, maybe I missed it. Earlier it seemed like your father wasn't aware of him, but now you're
No,
saying that
my
your
father
father it
was
was aware, and
no,
maybe, and I
no,
could have
no.
missed it.
My
I could have
father,
missed it.
no, you're okay. No, my father was aware. But what I was trying to touch on the notions of, yes, I may be inexperienced in dating because I have been committed to a male, right, from 16 to 28. But during those times, I've experienced things that I shouldn't have to go through
Like
within
what?
my personal relationship that
Oh,
I'm not really
well,
gonna
okay,
touch
no
bases
problem. You
on
don't have
that.
to, but to
But
be together with
but you
anybody, if
mentioned
I could,
that because I'm inexperienced, just because I'm inexperienced with other men, it doesn't mean that I don't see how other men treat women. And just like how he stated, where he called the women bitches, that's disrespectful, especially when you have procreated with the female and made a child. You're disrespecting your baby's mother
can the
on
mother
live.
can the woman disrespect him?
A woman shouldn't disrespect anyone. People in general shouldn't disrespect
Okay,
anyone
so just like
at all.
so you feel like a man shouldn't call a woman the B word, so a woman shouldn't call that man the N word, shouldn't say anything derogatory to him either, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so long as you
This is not This is not what where I want men to understand, because I will hold women accountable. You have to vet properly. You have to abstain from sex as long as you can. You cannot indulge in your flesh. Like those are
see that
important
part I
things.
agree with. See,
But what I was trying,
wait, before you get into that,
no, go ahead.
to that part I agree with because you have a very good story. What you have is a story of growing up with your father and your mother. You got with your boyfriend that you're still, I'm saying boyfriend because of at the time that you got with him. I look in my
Hmm.
life, if you have sex with someone, that's marriage. So that's why you keep hearing me say husband.
Hmm.
So you got with
Yeah.
him at 16. Although your father wouldn't have approved of him, you did tell him about him, and then y'all been together ever since. But then what you're saying now is like things that you've gone through in that relationship, which would now be 12 years because you said you're 28. So in 12 years of
Hmm.
being in that relationship, you've gone through things that you feel you shouldn't go through, right? And I don't need the details. I'm just trying to
Exactly.
make sure I repeat.
Hmm.
So now I'm gonna give you a little bit of advice. Your father probably gave you some of this advice too. You don't have long relationships that are just one way. Relationships, they're gonna be absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. Might be some pain, might be some arguments, might be some issues, because you're in a relationship. It's like I said this. I think I said this the other day. If you can imagine being with you 24, if you can imagine what being with you 24/7, that then should help you understand why someone might be turned off by you 24/7. Because we're not.
Hmm.
I don't like myself. There's some things about me I know that I have. I know I could be an asshole. I could be this. I could be that. And what you're hoping is that good your good qualities outweigh your bad qualities. It's only detrimental when your bad qualities outweigh your good. So the fact that you're together
Hmm.
12 years, that's a good focus, because a lot of women do not get with their first man at 16 and then stay with that same man forever. And that's what you've done so far. So what you've done so far is been with one man for 12 years. There's a lot of people, a lot of young women your age that cannot say that. A lot of women your age got 5 and 6 and 7 partners. So I think do y'all have children together?
Yes, we have two daughters.
There you go. And
Hmm.
now what you get to do is, and which is a rarity in the black community, you get to generationally pass down a blessing instead of a curse. And so now your two daughters can see their father and mother together. That's also something that you don't see. So I think you kind of
Hmm.
can't. I think we're gonna put you in the like special category. Like your relationship with your husband is in the special category. Now, when it comes to what the previous caller was going through, that's an example of not vetting properly. That's an example of picking the wrong woman, picking the wrong man, and then now you got to go through the white man's system to go through it. That's why I don't know if you heard him say it. He said if he would have known what he known now as far as sex being marriage, he would have never picked them. And that's the unfortunate state of a lot of our people. A lot of our people um, are stuck in you just, especially with this society, you just have sex and it doesn't matter who you with. I like her body. I like his chest. Ooh, he smiled at me. He got money. I'm asleep with him. And then when the kid gets involved, that's when the drama starts on either side. So I think what we need is better vetting on both parties. The man needs to vet better. The woman needs to vet better and stop thinking with their private parts.
I definitely agree with that statement. I was just trying to point out because I know some people would be like, oh, you're not holding the women accountable. I have hold them accountable. You need better standards. You need to be able to operate and think with your mental and not with your body, even if you see a male that's attractive. But I was just trying to show that women, they're taught differently versus men. Men, you hear the boys will be boys, or they're taught differently.
That part
So,
is
and this
true.
is naturally,
I can back
women
you up
are
on that.
born and taught already out the gate that your virtue is the number one importance. Your
I,
purity is the number one importance. Men aren't taught that. So when you meet a man, even any man in general, you meet their interviewer person. You don't really meet them for who they are. That's why I always tell my friends you should wait before you get involved with this person,
right.
because without the sexual contact, you can think clearly as far as the manipulation, or you can
So
see the
now I'm
red
gonna help.
flags.
So now I'm gonna help
With
my
him,
audience. I'm gonna help my audience understand what you're saying, because you were saying people were thinking that you're one-sided, right? So my test for you when you
mhm,
called in, when you was first asking, and you were just talking about the men. The only test I gave you was about the women, and every time I brought up the women, you said no, they got to be held accountable too. So to my audience, I don't look at her as being biased, but she is bringing up an excellent point. She made a point that said, boys will be boys. So we have a statement in my school. We say black women will stop being whores when black men stop loving whores. And why is that important? The concept of boys will be boys. So let's imagine in the black community you have it two ways. Boys will be boys, and girls have to be, like she said, virtuous. And girls have to not give it up. That's not gonna work in the black community. And here's why. You're building men to be predators. You're building women to be virtuous, good girls. And so now you have these predators convincing these women that you have to look this way to be attractive. You have to be this way. Their whole point is to run game. Don't tell your father that you come into my house. Don't tell your mother. Don't do this. So you cannot teach in the black community that boys will be boys and these girls have to be one way. The appropriate way is to teach them both that don't lay with this girl if you're not going to keep her for the rest of your life. Don't lay with this man if you're not going to keep him for the rest of your life. Because the whole goal is to teach them both that sex means the most to both. When you teach boys will be boys, you're teaching them that sex doesn't mean anything. And then now what happens is we have a generation of women that do what? That believe sex also don't mean anything. What that girl Glorilla say? I took your nigga down before. Women boast about taking a man down when a woman never takes a man down. The woman always getting taken down just based on the mechanics of the parts that are on a man and the parts that are on a woman. But we have masculated women sexually. So to properly correct it, men should never be teaching that boys will be boys. We shouldn't teach that. We should teach boys should be responsible. I think that's what the sister's saying. You can tell me if I'm
yes,
correct.
that. Thank you. That is exactly what I was saying, because that's why I use myself as an example of my upbringing
Mm-hmm.
and being taught all these things. Like when my husband gets home, I when I say I work 8:30, and this is not to brag, believe me, but men don't really understand how hard it is. I literally work from 8:30 to 6. I work and I do CNA on the side. I'm going for my doctorate. I work from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and I'm also going to school. When I come back, I do his hair, I do my daughter's hair, I clean up the house, I get things organized, I cook, I meal prep. In between that time, I lay his clothes out, I ask him how his day been. I do what I was taught to do. And like I stated, there's been things that have happened to me that, like I said, I'm not going to touch bases on too much. But to hear the man say, like, oh, they're bitches and stuff like that. Before I go, this is the last thing that I wanted to state. I feel like and I could be biased on this because maybe it's the lack of experience, but I have watched a lot of things that my friends have went through, and I'm just like, so he's doing this, he's doing that, he cheated on you more multiple times. Like, I've heard the strife between the
No,
women,
you're not
and it's
experienced that.
just
You're not. I wouldn't say you're inexperienced there. Like I've never smoked crack, but I could talk about it. I was just talking about the date.
yeah.
I was just talking about dating. I'm not saying you can be.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah,
see
you
what you're
can.
saying.
Right
Okay.
there, you go. Okay, good.
So when it came down to it, it was more of like a situation where I'm just like, okay, even if it doesn't matter, well, men they complement the female as well. However, because they're raised differently and because they think differently, it's best that both parties understand that before they get romantically involved.
Mm-hmm.
And when he mentioned that, oh well, I pay child support and it's this much, and you were like, okay, how come? And I may have quoted this wrong, but when you were mentioning like, oh, how come the woman never has to take accountability, or why does she never have to do that? I did make a comment in chat, and I was stating that the woman is there 24/7. She is there for doctor's appointments. She is there wiping the noses. She is there cleaning, cooking. She is there when they need homework done. She is there going to their events. She is the primary care person. If this man is not going to see his children, then of course you're going to have to pay something because you've made
No,
another life,
that wasn't his
but you're
issue.
not.
Just so you know, that wasn't his issue.
Mhm.
Hold on 1 second. Caller, hold on a second. So not taking care of the kids wasn't his issue. His issue was that in the state that he lives in, because they wasn't legally married, he didn't have any
Mhm.
he could only get visitation rights. So he didn't have the option. So he actually bought a house.
Wife made you look like
Wait.
a bitch yesterday, nigga.
Jesus Christ, man. What is wrong with you? Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me hang up on this guy. So the reason, so his issue was a little more different, only because in his state, he didn't have any control whatsoever. Because in that state,
Mhm.
the mother automatically gets everything. But what was happening was his issue was that as he's paying and visiting the kids, they were talking about him anyway. So by default, in his like if let's say if he was in a state where he could actually fight for full custody, then that would be different. But in that state, he has no choice because they're not legally married. So there's nothing that he could actually do in that position.
Okay, because I did come in at the end when I heard
Right.
what he was stating as far as that
Yeah,
part.
so his
So,
frustration was only, so just so you know, his frustration wasn't that he wasn't taking care of the kids or seeing the kids. His frustration was, even though he's doing all those things, they were still disrespecting him to the kids, to him, like still poisoning him. So he said he
mhm,
pays,
okay.
I think it was like 1,200. I forget, like 1,200 or
Mhm.
something like that he paid for both of his kids.
I
So
think you
he's
said 1,500. I
15. There
could
you
be
go.
wrong on that
No,
though.
you might be right. So he was saying he pays 1,500 a month, and then he visits. He sees the kids. So he's doing everything. His only issue
Mhm.
is the way that they talking about
How
him.
she talks to the
Right,
children
about him. Right,
okay.
that was his
Okay.
issue.
So that's
And
why
and since just
I
so
mean
you
his
know,
situation is a little bit different based
right,
off of the state.
right,
If he
because of it,
can't,
right. So
go
he
and
could,
get his
yeah.
children.
So if he goes there, they're gonna say because she's the mother, that state is gonna say he can't do that. And then since I do got other callers, but I
Mhm.
appreciate, if you don't mind, I'm probably gonna make a segment of this conversation because I thought it was a good, actually a real good conversation, and I appreciate the call. You subscribe to the channel because I do lives all the time, and if you ever hear a subject, you can always call in.
I know that you do have one more caller, but before I go, I just wanted to state one more thing before I leave.
Mm-hmm.
What I would suggest, and I could be wrong on this because I'm once I graduate, I'll be making a sufficient income, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, I do feel like if men have all this strife about finances and stuff like that, maybe what they could do is, or the state, they can have it where all the money that the mother spends for the child goes on a credit card and she pays throughout the year. And then after the year, they can see how much she spent on the child and stuff like that.
Right.
Or what I would do if I was in a situation like that, and this is just me, and to any woman that's out there in this situation, I think this would be good as well. What I would do is I would take the money that he gives for child support, I will open up a separate account, and what he pays for child support, I'll put that money in the account for the child. That way, when the child gets older, around 18 or 25, if they're financially responsible, I'll give them that money for college. Now, I know that's easier said than done because bills is expensive. You got stuff that's going on, but maybe it will probably help the strife that the male is feeling and then help you with the situation where your child will have some income later on. But like I said, I'm from a different tax bracket. I'll be making about 300 an hour. So that's where the mindset is coming from that. If you're not, then continue to do what you're doing. But it was a very productive call. Thank you so much for answering. I hope
No
men and
problem at
women
all.
both understand that sexual contact is very
It's
important.
very
And please
important.
be safe out there.
No problem. You
Have a
take
good
care,
day.
sis. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, before I get the next caller, that last caller that said that about Wack, it wasn't even that deep. Me and Wack just got into it over Farrakhan father being white. Wasn't even that deep. Wasn't no nonsense. That's just a troll. That's all. All right. He actually got cut. I mean, I don't know what he could say to what anything that I said. But anyway, next caller says Charles.
Yeah, this Charles from Los Angeles. She kind of cleaned it up at the end, man. I was about to get on her a little bit.
Nah, see what?
I'm sorry,
Listen,
bro.
I'm gonna tell you, and it could just be maybe because it was. So here's what I was thinking, because I didn't know where she was going at first, and I was confused. That's why I was asking her questions on the women's side, and maybe it was just a thing where because when maybe her first time calling, so it took time to get it together. But I think by the end of it, I think it was solid. So I think it was solid.
Yeah. At the end, she kind of, because I was like, she's still going back to that woman side, boy. I mean, even, because it's a lot of situations out there where these women getting all this money, and the kids ain't got no shoes, no new clothes for school. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know, the woman getting her hair done, she helping her new boyfriend pay his car note with the child support money. It's all kind of foul stuff that the women be doing, and I didn't hear that energy from her, you know. But then toward the end, you know, there was some good suggestions that, you know,
Yeah.
that would need to go to a card or something, you know,
Yeah, I
so you
think
can see where your money's going.
Mm-hmm. And I think she should be
Yeah, so
commended. I mean, she's been with the same man. A lot of women can't say that, so she get applauded for that. Hold on one second. Caller, hold on. Go ahead, brother. But you had a question or anything like that?
oh no,
That was it.
I
That was it.
hung on. I was going to hang up. But she kind of straightened up a little bit at the end, so my energy kind of changed up some,
Oh,
you know. But
okay.
yeah, but that's it, man. That's it.
All right, no sweat, brother. I
So
appreciate
you
it.
had a good show, bro.
Thank you,
Appreciate you,
brother.
man.
Appreciate it. All right. Next
All right.
caller says 413-570.
Hey, brother. Hey, I just wanted to tell you thank you for your service, man.
Oh, Most High in
Appreciate
Christ,
you
brother. I
serving for the
appreciate
white
it.
man.
You said my
Yep.
service for the
No
who?
problem. For the white man.
What service you talking about for the white man? What you talking about?
For the military, brother. For the military, man. I want to thank you for serving for your country.
Boy, you was definitely trolling, man. Get your ass out of here.
All right, brother. I appreciate it.
Hey, no sweat.
You know that, man.
I appreciate
All
it,
right.
brother. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. All right. Hold on. I'm trying to find. I need to get this. Wait, hold on. Oh, I got it. Okay, I got it right here. Hold on. I gotta talk about these super chats. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Boom. Just sending this message. All right. So let me get these super chat. Give me let me go on to YouTube real fast before I get into this subject. Let me go here. There we go. So here we go. Shalom does just wait. Shalom, just the tip sound like the sister and Ak took accountability I told that lie to a woman to have sex with her when I was younger. Like I told y'all, that tip thing, that tip part is crazy. The tip part, the tip part is off the chain. I'm gonna just tell you that. I'm gonna tell you, me personally, I don't believe the tip part. And that's just me. When I was talking to the gentleman, I was running it down. He said, "That's old school." I said, he said, "That's old school right there. Just put the tip in." I ain't rocking with the tip part because with the tip part, there's a lot before you get to the tip. You know, there's kissing, caressing. Ain't no telling what type of foreplay is taking place before you put that tip in. So I'm not rocking with the tip part, but that judgment was handled. And then all three of them accepted it. So I'm not talking about that. The abuse part. So today, when I get out the gym, I'm gonna take an hour out of my day and talk about the abuse part, only because the sister sent the messages to Zara from Grand Rising. Zara sent them to me, and so because she was lied upon, two things. She said she was tired of being called a whore, and she didn't like that Ariala tried to make it seem like she was destroying her things. So she sent the proof. So I'm gonna show that proof today. But that tip thing, I don't know about that tip thing. But that's their judgment. That's how they deal with it. It says, I live by the school by Richmond. I put the number in for Richmond on there already. Prodigal son says if Christ came for everybody, then why he ignored a Canaanite woman? Matthew 15, 22 and 26. If you think Jesus is about peace, go read Matthew 10 and 34. Most High in Christ for the connections. Just locked in. I gave that brother the number for Chicago school. NOI accepted caveman as treason. The NOI has accepted the white man, their leader. Their Muhammad is white. Okay, so from an adultery perspective, because Mika said so it was adultery. Based on the council and their understanding, they said that they didn't believe that was marriage. That's what they said. Oh, you said Richmond, California. Oh, my bad. They said that they didn't have the understanding of what sex is marriage is. That's what they said. So the marriage to Ariala was void because they were told that was marriage. And so he had the first husband had the opportunity to write a bill of divorce or stay with her. He stayed with her, and they're together to this day. Caller, what's your name? Wait, before you speak, caller, hold on. So I'm call this number to get the number for Callie. To get the number for Callie, call this number. All right, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This Greg calling from Chicago. I was just to talk about that topic. You said so from their so-called perspective, they didn't know that's not adultery.
No. From their perspective, they didn't know that was marriage.
I mean that they didn't know that was marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that, and the reason why I say I don't believe that, and then no offense to the sister because she's saying she was tired of being called a whore or something. In the truth or out the truth, anytime a woman is talking to two different men at the same time, and in my opinion, you a hoe. So, and I wouldn't even look. I wouldn't.
But she wasn't. But just for the record, and you can have your opinion because I told you I don't agree with that either. But for the record, she wasn't talking to them at the same time. She was dealing with one before she ever came into the school, and then or met Ariala, however that works. It was only later that Ariala went in her inbox, hit her up, and then so it wasn't at the same time. Just for clarity's sake, that's all. But I don't agree with the tip part. If you want me to be blunt, just tell you straight up.
I don't know. I don't agree with that either.
Okay, well let me tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what I think.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you what I think. What I think is that Um, and y'all take it however y'all want. All I know how to do is just say it. Let's say if whatever relation she had with the first brother, put the tip in, whatever other foreplay, whatever they did, they stopped dealing with each other, however they go. When she gets with Ariala, when that shit don't work out, then she brings up that whole tip thing, because she could have bought that. I said this in Grand Rising. All of that could have been avoided if she would have just expressed, hey, I was with this brother and he put the tip in, I might be married to him. Because that only comes up later. It doesn't come up initially. But the first brother and the woman knows. The only person that don't know is Ariala. Ariala does not know at all. And she said Ariala didn't know. So while they're together, Ariala doesn't know. When he abuses her, Ariala doesn't know. When they sending messages back and forth, Ariala doesn't know. So Ariala is the only innocent there. But that brother and that sister, if they know, I don't see why they waited until later to say something about it.
I think Ariala knew. And the reason why I say that, because I think he knew. Because Ariala is not a stupid individual. And like I said, if you know who your man's talk to, who likes your homie or whoever that used to be a rule. Like that's anybody that somebody used to talk to or currently talk to or something like that's like an off limits thing. So,
right, I agree with that. Like I never talked to my homies' girls. That would
right. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say I'm just thinking from like outside the truth. Like that's just not something inside truth.
But remember, they out of state, so they not in the same state. Like they're from the first brother and the sisters from Texas or something like that. He's in Philly, so he might not. So I can't argue that he didn't know. I can only say that they all said that Ariala didn't know. Apparently. Now, I think the fault. I think that blame is on that woman and that brother primarily, because one thing we can't dispute is they knew for sure that tip went in there.
Right.
And they should have said something. I think that because, and I said this before, like she wouldn't have went through none of that if she would have just said that from the gate, and then it would have been known that that's your husband. She would have just been with that dude. And I think the only reason it came up is because of the abuse.
That's why I do think it's kind of like, excuse my language, kind of like
just don't cuss. A little bit of BS. Oh yeah, BS.
Yeah, a little bit of BS because like you said, before you get to the tip, it's a lot of more foreplay that gotta happen before then. So you gotta get that thing ready to receive the tip. So lucky. Right. You just like come on, like I'm not.
Wait, hold on one second. Caller, hold on. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah.
You gotta get that thing ready to see.
I honestly did what Ariala kind of like put his foot in his mouth like twice then. Right. It kind of like backfired on him twice. Like I don't know like with that whole situation, and the reason why I don't respect Ariala is because you came out so, it's like you waited so long to the point of that, like you said, it don't even matter anymore. So it's right. Like I don't know if you're telling the truth or not. So, but you know what I'm saying, not defending Gorilla or nothing, because he came out the next day.
Like I told y'all, Gorilla came out on his Wesley Snipes, Nino Brown shit. He just started dry snitching out this motherfucker.
Hey, but
they both dry snitching. They both out here dry snitching. Neither one of them was brothers.
And I was watching the video. He's like, "Yeah, and I still love Gorilla." And in my mind, I'm like,
"Man, don't nobody believe that shit, man."
That ain't no love that you doing right now.
What type of love is that, man? That's love?
Oh, no.
If that's love, I would hate to see what hate is.
More to come. Like what? Like what you mean? There's more to come? Like you.
Listen, he
That's why I
don't
said.
listen. Ariella don't even love Hassad because I guarantee you Hassad didn't know he was being recorded and it was gonna be played.
Yeah, that's
Crazy work.
That's crazy. That's crazy work. I have one more thing to say about the caller who was talking about the child support. She I think she was kind of like putting the more blame on the men. Like I don't agree with child support at all. I feel like if you put it, I feel like you put your child. I look at that as you going to the white man to sick the white man on the black man. I don't look at that. I don't agree with child support. I do agree with you taking care of your kids. And I think most of these women who are using child support, my thing is if you go putting somebody on child support and you've had abortion or had abortions, I don't think that's right. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in abortion, but I'm just saying because you get to absolve yourself from responsibility when you feel the need to. Wow, this man is always going to be held accountable. And people be like, well, how the man being held accountable? If he missed that child support payment, he can get locked up. That's it for him. So, like, I think child support, based on the woman, I do agree with vetting that woman properly. I hate the situation I was in. When I was new in the truth, I knew sex was marriage and all that, everything. That's why I said I don't believe it. I knew sex was marriage. The woman I dealt with, I was a stepdad to her child. Now, her first child's father didn't do anything. Haven't seen him in over 7 years. And the moment me and her split, and I took care of her even after that. So the moment me and her split, that's when she tried to put me on child support. We went to the court.
With the stepkid?
Yes.
So she tried to put you on child support?
No. I have a child.
Oh, you had a child with her. Okay. So she.
Right. But keep in mind, I done took care of the stepkids.
You took care of the kid that wasn't yours and the kid that was yours.
Right.
And then when y'all broke up, she put you on child support.
Yes, she tried to, and the only reason why I'm not on it is because they didn't properly serve me. So, but when she brought the other child's father there, she told the court that me and him gonna settle this. This is the deadbeat. Me and him gonna settle this outside the court. But him, she still tried to put me on child support. So it's almost like
the deadbeat. She didn't want to take the court for child support, but the one that was taking care of the kids, she want to put on child support. That's crazy. And I didn't even get to, I don't even get to see my child. So it's that post you made in one breath with the DDG. The man who wants to see get clowned. Yep, he gets clowned.
Get clowned, and
then the one that don't want to see it get clowned.
The one that don't want to do.
Y'all heard what he said? And y'all be talking about women don't be about vengeance. This man came into this woman's life. She already has a kid. The father ain't doing nothing with the kid. He takes care of that kid. They then have a kid together. He taking care of two kids. One his, one not his. They break up. She take him to court, but she don't take the deadbeat to court. And y'all gonna tell me that ain't vengeance? Y'all gonna tell me that that's not vengeance? That is absolutely vengeance.
That's what I said. It's never about the child, in my opinion. It's always based on how the woman feel.
Yeah.
It's always
if I feel like it, emotional bastards. If I feel like it, I'm gonna call the cops. If I feel like it, I'm gonna put you on child support. And then got you bowing down because child support is such a detrimental monster on black men. You just be sitting there like, I hope she don't put me on child support. I hope she don't put me on. You better send me this money. I'm gonna do this. You better do this. Man.
Yeah, that's not a good look. Like that's a stain on your name. Some companies, businesses don't even want to hire you if you that, because they look at you like you're not a good man. So, but that's all I had, Cap. Appreciate you taking my call.
I appreciate it. Hey, shalom. Hey, before I get to the next call, I want to shout out Writer Prophet B1 gifted a Captain Tazaryach TV membership, and Devin Kelly received that gift. If you want to be a member, just click the membership. It's like 30 videos that members can only see only. I was just thinking about if I was going to publish some of them, but it's like 30 videos currently on that channel, on my channel, that you can only see if you're a member. All right, so these are going to be the last 2 calls that I want to announce. I got, and listen, Commander Jenny Hunter about to debate, y'all. He about to debate in how, 1 second, dude. He about to debate. To the caller that just joined, just wait 1 second. I'm going to go to Mark first. All right. So Mark, you there?
Hello?
To the guy,
Hey, what's
comp,
happening,
to the
Cat?
guy, to the guy, Comp Hunter. Just hold on a second. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Just if you can mute for a second, then I'm gonna come to you after this caller. Mark, you got it.
Yeah. All right, good looking, Cat. Hey, how you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Hey,
What's going on, brother?
Man, I got 2 questions for you. It really ain't about the Bible. It's about life situations.
Go ahead, brother.
All right, the first thing. So, like I do Uber and stuff like that, right? So, is it against the law to drive on the Sabbath?
If you can, I would avoid it if you can.
All right, because they buying my time, right? So you ain't supposed to buy it, sell, or nothing like that.
Yeah, but it's also a slavery. And so the reason why I say you should avoid it if you can, you should try to work the days prior to so that you don't have to work on the Sabbath.
Right.
Like if we like, because we're in hell, and this what everybody got to understand. Buying and selling is a boss's law. It's not the servant's law. You don't control buying or selling. And most people are working when they're working on the Sabbath is because they're being forced to work on the Sabbath. So being that you're Ubering, you have more control of your schedule. So when you can,
in my case, I don't have to work.
Right, exactly, right. So you can work Saturday night, you can work to third Friday night, and then that Saturday you can make sure you're off. So you can actually work 6 days. You don't have to work on that day. So no, you should not.
All right, okay, that's cool. All right, my second question, man.
But like, how long is your penis when it's fully erect?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening today, yo.
Bro, man, what these gay ass Edom like talking about, bro?
He just called in just to say that, man.
That nigga's a weirdo.
Yeah, I hung up on him already. Go ahead, bro. What the,
for real.
Yo, what
That's
the hell? Yeah, that's crazy work.
That's
man.
crazy work.
That is
crazy work.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm going to live through something, man. Well, I'm gonna try to shorten it down, because I know you don't got that much time. Back in, I just got out of prison probably by like in November, and I did like 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So before I then went to prison, I didn't know the truth or nothing like that. So I was really out in these streets making money and stuff like that. Been in and out of prison for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem I'm having is that a long time since I've been 18. I have 2 baby mamas, and like we always like been together, like as in like poly, you know what I'm saying? But where the part come in is that it's like we all was sleeping together, for a long period of time, right?
You mean you and the other women?
Yeah, this before the truth, though.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah, this before the truth. And now that I'm out and that I know the truth and I'm trying to change my life and everything like that, I'm trying to tell them, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so you still
like,
with
I want to
them?
marry.
So you with the same women, or these are new women?
I'm not with them, but we want to be together because every time I've been locked up, they've been loyal. They put money on my commissary. They take care of my kids, making sure everything right.
How many
so they're
women?
very loyal to me.
How many?
Just 2.
Okay, so as you've been in and out of jail, these 2 women have stuck by your side.
Stuck by my side, and I love them very much.
But these two women, y'all have also been in threesomes together as well.
Threesomes together, and then like when I was in jail, they also then slept together. So they have like a
they have what you would call a lesbian relationship.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm with you. So go ahead. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So now that I know the law and I can't do that, I'm trying to, tell them, that I'm showing them, what I'm learning, laws of God, showing them who we are.
Mhm.
I send videos of you for them to listen to and stuff like that.
Right.
And like they pretty much down. They get it, and then I think it's it's a sprint, not a marathon. When you first coming into the truth, you know what I'm saying. So what I'm
Okay.
trying to tell them is like, yeah, I don't want to, like break it off with them and stuff like that, but they gotta stop sleeping with each other, and
Mhm.
I feel like we technically already married because sex is marriage and stuff like that. So it's just like if they don't stop or stop doing this, do I gotta like divorce both of them and like stop talking to them?
So here's what you're gonna do, right? Well, first of all, so I'm gonna read this scripture, right? This is Romans 1, because this is how hard that lifestyle is. So in Romans 1, not the normal, of course, who changed the truth of God into a lie. But when you read Romans 1 and where's that? It's Romans 1 and 24. It says, wherefore God gave them, no, that's not it. Romans 1 and 26. It says, for this cause God gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves the recompense of the error which was me. So now you come into the truth, and then you realize that you're not supposed to have threesomes. You realize that you've oppressed these women into thinking that this is the lifestyle we're supposed to have, and now you still desire to be with them, but you want to do it in the righteous way. But what they seem to have done is fallen in love with their wickedness. And so as you tell them to not do this, because they have that vile affection, if they don't do how long have you been trying to get them to stop?
Man, since December, brother, like, cause I got out November,
And how
2024.
long? And then how long have they been together?
Well, we all been together. I met my first baby mama when I was 21, and then I met my other one. I've been knowing my other one since I was like 17.
So you have children with them too?
Yeah, I got children. I got children with them. I got 2 with one and 3 with the other.
So now you got a bigger problem, because your kid.
Yeah, I know. That's why I know the hell I done dug myself into, Cat. It's just, man, I was lost.
You're gonna need some heavy
Back in
counseling.
the day.
Wait, let me ask you something. When you tell them that they can't be together, and have you still been with them as well? Like, have you had threesomes with them since you told them?
No, that's why. Like, we kind of like not together, and then I'm trying to tell them like we can't be together.
And so, how do they respond to that? So when you tell them we can't be together in a threesome capacity, how do they respond to you?
I mean, they be thinking like I'm crazy. They was like, "Oh, Alex, you been down for this?" Like,
but do they get angry? Do they get angry with you about it or fight?
Yeah, they kind of get offended because they like, they be in their feelings saying like, well, like they love each other and stuff like that, and like we all love each other, and they're usually emotional arguments,
brother,
and I'm just like, I gotta do what the Most High say do, like,
exactly.
I can't. I can't, but can I just say one more thing?
Yeah.
It's just hard for me because like these 2 women have been very loyal, and I didn't put them through a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just like, and so I'm learning, the Most High comes first. So that's why I was just asking, like, damn, like, do I gotta do a bill of divorce, like separate completely from them? And then like,
okay, so they're the mother of your children, so you're always gonna have a relationship with them. That's one. Number 2, I wouldn't sleep with neither one of them anymore until they recognize what you're saying. 3.
Can I be honest with you, Cat?
Yeah, I would.
Like, I haven't slept with them together, but I have slept with them separately.
Well, that's why I asked you. You answered that already, because you said you haven't done threesomes with them since. So I understand that you're still sleeping with them. But if they still sleep with each other, That is not
They
your
do.
woman. That is adultery. Like, people think adultery is only a man with a woman. Adultery is all that fornication breaks that marriage. And so that's what you have to explain to them. If they continue to sleep with each other, you can't sleep with them out. So they have to make the choice. Y'all either going to choose each other in y'all lesbianism, fornication, or you're going to choose me. But you cannot continue to sleep with them knowing that they're sleeping with each other. And the first thing they're going to have to start with is resisting that vile affection. That's what they're going to have to start with. They're going to have to start with maybe get some counsel. You can call me like offline with them on the phone, maybe get some counsel on how to do it. I'm just going to tell you, it's a rough road. Like you got a rough road ahead of you, especially because you have a lot of your dynamic. You got them, you have your own guilt. Your guilt is them sticking with you while you were in jail is going to guilt you. It's going to guilt you into thinking that you got to accept their lifestyle because they were down with you. You don't have to accept their lifestyle because they was down with you. Because here's the thing. Just like you changing so that you don't go to jail again, and so you changing mentally, spiritually, you're also changing how you have sex. And you're entitled to do that. And you're finding out that that's not sex. That's fornication. And so now you're changing that way. And just like they were coaxed into accepting that lifestyle, they could be coaxed into not accepting that lifestyle. And you have to tell them, what are they teaching the children? That's why I said this is a rough road, because with them children involved, I pray that it don't come a thing where they use the children against you.
They get inside there because the Most High, he'll do. I feel you, man.
Well, not that part. What I'm praying for
Mm.
is that they don't use the children against you. So what I'm saying is
that too, man.
Yeah,
and
so-
I already got a record, bro.
So what I'm saying is what I would start with you right now is you got to tell them that you can't sleep with them until they can make a conscious effort to not sleep with each other. That's where you have to go.
Okay.
If you want to, because if you still sleep with them, even though they're sleeping with each other, they're going to be content with that because that's what they're doing already. Right now, even while when you was in prison, they were sleeping with each other. So when you come home and say, I can't have threesomes with you, they'll be content with, okay, he ain't sleeping with us both at the same time, but shit, you getting them and I'm getting them. We already sharing them. So that's not changing anything. The dynamic that you're trying to bring is that they can't sleep with each other. And the only way you can control that is by controlling yourself. So you can't give them what they want to get what you want. You have to not give them what they want to get what you want. So that whole sleeping with them, you're going to have to stop. What I would offer is counsel. That's why I said you can call. We can set up a time. We can all talk together. I'll try to help you, help them understand the life that you're trying to live, the better way of life you're trying to live, not only for you, but for the children and the whole environment. But brother, there's going to be a rough road. And maybe it might not be. Maybe you pray and, maybe the Lord will be with you, watch over them, and maybe it could change their spirit. But the lesbianism and homosexual spirit is such a hard spirit. That's why the scriptures say the Lord gave them up to a vile affection. Now you can overcome it because God is stronger than any affection, but you gotta hate that. And if they don't hate it, it's gonna be a rough road out.
Yeah, and then I actually say one more thing.
And before you say that, before you say that one, do y'all all live in the same house?
Yes, but I didn't moved out last month.
But they still live together, right?
They still live together with my kids.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough too. Because I was saying if they live separately, apart, that could work. Or like let's say if
we didn't live with each other for like 10 years, so that's not like new. You know what I'm saying?
No. What I was thinking was like you just said you moved out. So like let's say if one stayed with you, the other one stayed over there, at least they would be apart. But if they've been together, you just said they've been together 10 years. That's gonna be rough.
Yeah, because I'm 30. I'm 32, right?
So like I said, I've been knowing them since like in my early 20s, like 17. I knew my first baby mama. In 21, I knew my second one.
Right.
So yeah, it's been a long time, and then through that time, that's what I'm saying. Like through that history, we all. With the violent affection part, we all was like, you know, and in love with each other. We was in the streets together. They had moved up for me. Then they went to jail for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just deep, you know. And
that's why it is. So that's why. So I offer counseling, brother. But like I said,
so I just take this number for you.
Yeah, this is my number. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So you can ask them.
I appreciate it. I know you gotta go and stuff.
No problem, brother.
I appreciate the mentor, man.
Hey, Lord be with you out.
All right, thank you.
All right, no sweat. All right, before I go, that was the last call I'm gonna take. What I was talking about with Commander Jenny Yohana. So there was a debate that I was gonna do. It was myself against Pastor Manning of Adultery Church, where we was gonna debate the virgin birth. And then I got the call. And Commander Jenny Yohana said, Cap, I would like to take that debate against the pastor. It's going to be at his church. So what you're going to see, this is coming up after the Passover. We don't have a date yet, but Commander Jenny Yohana is going to be going into the Adler Church in Harlem, New York, versus Pastor Manning on, was Jesus born without a biological father? We in the motherfucking building. I don't think that pastor know. Like, y'all saw what Commander Jenny Yohana did with the Proud Boys. Commander Jenny Yohana was doing it with the Proud Boys, was talking to that brother from the Proud Boys so good. I don't know if y'all go back and watch the tape. As Commander Jenny Yohana is talking to him and being kind to him and giving him brotherhood, you could see him wanting to come. Like, all he needed was just like, tell me to get in all black. Tell me to get in all black. And then the mic muted. Then you hear somebody behind him talking, because they could feel Commander Jenny Yohana winning this brother's spirit. Because the brother from the Proud Boys that Commander Jenny Yohana was talking to is an Israelite. When Commander Jenny Yohana go up in that church, they better be prepared to lose that church. Pastor, listen, Commander Jenny Yohana in the building is going to be in the building. Get ready to come to Harlem, New York City, so we can do this battle. And we want it packed. I'm going to give y'all a story, man. When I debated Malik Zula Shabazz, Garfield know about this, man. So when I'm debating Malik Zula Shabazz in Harlem, New York at the Alhambra Ballroom, I remember, man, Malik came in there, had them nut-ass niggas playing them damn drums, all that African mumbo-jumbo nonsense. And then Commander Jenny Yohana came in the building, and you heard that Alawat Panya, and we gave that salute. Drum music went away. It was no more drum music. Shut that shit off. It was like, shut that damn drum music off. So that's what's coming up. I want to tell y'all, so before I go again, what I'm at, 83 minutes? All right. So before I go, I titled this video, Can women be held accountable? I want to play something for y'all. This girl gave me a whole new word, y'all. This girl that I'm about to play gave me a whole new word. So let me see where it's at. I'm gonna play. Why should I play this shit right here? Hold on, let me see.
Hold on. Y'all know who that is right?
Hyenaism is rampant.
This girl said, wait. This girl said,
wonder why these
listen, hold on.
Hyenaism is rampant.
I want y'all to hear that again. Hold on.
Hold
on. I want y'all to hear it again.
It's rampant.
Hold on.
Hyenaism is rampant.
Before I play this, what the hell is hyenaism, yo? I was sending this shit to Tommy, man. Hyenaism is fucking crazy, yo. Hyenaism is rampant. This is one I like when I play stuff like this because women can't say nothing because this is a woman that said it. I'm gonna bring it back. Hold on, let me turn it on now. Hold on.
These chicks, hyenaism is rampant. You wonder why these chicks don't take no accountability. It's because we don't want them to take accountability. We don't want them to take accountability. We do everything we can.
God damn it. I'm not taking no more calls, man. Stop. Let me bring it back.
Hyenaism is rampant. You wonder why these chicks don't take no accountability. It's because we don't want them to take accountability. We don't want them to take accountability.
Hey, this caller back. Hey, what you want, caller?
Hyenaism is rampant.
Caller.
Hyenaism
I said, what you want, man? What's up?
Yeah, I just want to just see if we're able to call Glorilla Hebrew from now on, if that's all right with you, brother.
You don't have to call me to get my permission for it, man. I'm mad that I took your call. Right, I thought it was important.
No problem, brother.
All right. Jesus Christ, man. You see that's why when I say I ain't gonna take a call, I don't want to take a call. I'm usually right. And I was right then. So I gotta bring it back so we can hear about this hyenaism. Hold on.
Hyenaism is rampant. You wonder why these.
That's what I'm saying. And then now I gotta put him on the block list. Hold on. I'm gonna put him on the block list. Hold on. Let me put him on the block list. Bye-bye. I'm trying to get this hyenaism.
Hyenaism is rampant.
You know what I think? I think that caller kept calling so we can hear this.
Rampant. You wonder why these chicks don't take no accountability. It's because we don't want them to take accountability. We don't want them to take accountability. We do everything we can to shield these chicks from any form of accountability for anything that they do. And then on the other hand, we want to harp on, well, women don't take accountability. She's taught from a little girl that she don't have to. And when there are situations where she's old enough to know what she's
I can't stop, Maria. I can't stop.
And to take responsibility for choices that she has made and let there be some kind of consequence behind what she has done, we run to make sure she don't never have to take the accountability. So if she ain't got to take accountability right now, what make you think she got to take accountability 10 years down the line in a relationship with somebody? What make you think she got to take accountability at any point, at any time, for any reason? And you wonder why the Lionesses can't win. You wonder why we just...
Let me tell you something. She's saying that in response to the woman to the girl with the baton. And yet, for those that don't know, remember the girl with the baton that hit the other girl while she was running. And so with the girl that hit the one with the baton, her parents and everything are saying she didn't do it on purpose and trying to fight. And so what the woman is saying is that we're raising these women to not have to take accountability. Anybody watching the video, no matter what angle, you can see that she hit that girl on purpose. What lesson are you teaching that girl if she now gets to go cry on the news and the media saying I didn't? You teaching her that she don't do shit wrong, even when we can see it blatantly. And that's what the woman is talking about. So now, if you ain't teaching her to be accountable now, like she said, 10 years later, what accountability are you teaching her? You're not teaching her nothing. You're teaching her that she can lie, she can blatantly do it, and then them mother freaking tears mean everything. A woman start crying, good night when she start crying. Good night. You want me to prove it? I'm going to prove it. This article came out, and I didn't get a chance to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it real quick, and I'm going to show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. Where is that? Hold up. Where you at? Hold on. I want to get this. So, Xavier Worthy, wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, got arrested because that woman cried and said that that he assaulted her. And the whole time, listen, his job is on the line. His career is on the line. Like I always say, Ray Rice on video, his woman spit on him. He hit her. I ain't saying whether he was justified or not in hitting her, but I am saying when you spit on somebody, let me see, hyenas are usually female dominant in their groups and live competitively. Ooh, thank you for breaking that down. So hyenaism, I'm about to give this to Tommy. Hyenaism is because hyenas, or however you say this shit, are usually female dominant in their groups and live competitively instead of cooperating with each other. So now, this black woman that's married to fiance to Xavier Worthy, calls the police and says that he assaulted her. She put a restraining order on him. He's in jail for it. His whole life is on the line. When Ray Rice got spit on, I ain't saying he was right to hit her, but I understand a reaction to getting spit on. Because nobody would say, you know how it feels to get spit on? You know what type of level of disrespect it is to get spit on? She spit in his face. Or spit at him. He hits her. He ain't played football since. And the crazy part is, she forgave him and everything. I'm not sure if they still together. She forgave him and everything. Because she knew she was wrong to spit on her. And I always use the parallel. Because there's always two sides. Like earlier when we was talking about Anthony Edwards being treated like trash because he don't want to take care of the kid. And then DDG being treated like trash because he do want to take care of the kid. When Ray Rice hit in the elevator, Jay-Z didn't hit in the elevator, they both got ridiculed. Jay-Z got ridiculed because he was being a man. Solange over there kicking. Let me see if I can find that video. Let me see something. Hold on, let me see something. I might go a little extra. I wanted to go to the gym, but I think, let me see. Jay-Z, Solange, elevator. Let me see. I don't know if this is on the internet still. Let me see if this is on the internet still. Is this it? Let me see. Let's see if this is on the internet. Let me see. Hold up. Let me see. Now, look at this. Look at this here. This woman, this Solange. Oh, I didn't know she actually hit him. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this video. Wait, I don't know. Let me see if I get a better one, a better angle to see. Hold on. I don't know if, let me close it. Maybe I might see it better because you can see it clearly on my phone. Let me just see if you can see it clear. Hold on. Let me see. If you look at this, you're going to see her. I don't know if y'all can see that good. I don't know if you can see. Stop calling me, man. I don't know if y'all can see that good. They getting in the elevator. Watch when they get in the elevator. She's in Jay's face. Look how she's swinging at Jay. Hey, nigga, stop calling me. Look at Jay. Jay is protected, ain't doing nothing. And watch this, y'all. What you want to the caller? What you want? What do you want? Stupid nigga. Block him. Now, first of all, Mika said calling a woman a bitch is your unstable emotion. Nah, calling a woman a bitch is necessary sometimes. I'm sorry. That's cap. Y'all women, when y'all women want to call men niggas and all that kind of nonsense, you can be called a bitch. When a woman wants to call a man out of his name, he can call you a bitch. Period. Bitch is not off limits. Bitch is never off limits. Ever. When you start talking disrespectful, Mika, I ain't saying it means anything to you. But when you make the statement that says calling a woman a bitch is your unstable emotion, I'll be stable as hell when if I call a woman a bitch, I'm stable. I'm stable enough to know exactly how she's acting. Just like a woman that calls a man out of his name, you can't then dictate what a man says to you in return. That goes anyway. Like if a man says something to me, you know what be tripping me out? Like, you ever have a man, and this is not a gender conversation. You say, you ever have a person disrespect you, and then when you go absolutely insane with your response, they say, why did you respond that way? You can't control somebody's response. Period. You disrespect somebody, you got to be prepared for what they say back to you. You can't disrespect them and then think because you gave a lighthearted disrespect, they slap you in the mouth or say something disrespectful to you. Now you're like, why did you attack me like that? No, why did you say something to me that warranted myself? And it's always, here's the other thing. It's always the person that's getting responded to that wants the other person to have the self-control. I have excellent self-control. Example. If you take like the conversation me and Wack had yesterday, as Wack is going off or whatever, I'm in such control, I don't have to respond the exact same way and still make my point. I've done that as long as y'all known me. I don't have to respond the way other people want me to respond. I respond my way. So if I decide to call you a B word, if I decide to call you a P word, the F word, the G word, whatever word I do, in my perfect emotional state, I do it. Shout out to Gentleman Hyman and his video to call a disrespectful woman a bitch. That's right. Let me tell you something, black men. Don't ever feel like you can't check a woman that's disrespecting you. If a woman is disrespecting you, the only power you have. Wait, hold on. If a woman is disrespecting you, the G word is gay. If a woman is disrespecting you, and Rhoda, it's disrespectful that you even putting the thumbs down on that. That's disrespectful. And this is where you women don't get the respect that y'all want. And you know what y'all be wanting? This is what y'all want. Y'all women want to be biased in your disrespect. And then you want me to then defend you. Like right now, I got to do a live stream to defend a woman. And I don't have a problem doing that. Oh, that wasn't for me. Okay, Rhoda, boy, Rhoda, I'm telling you, you was close. Let me stop saying that. I'm joking. Me and Rhoda are cool, so I could do that. Ain't nobody talk about hitting no woman before they make a clip. See, Cap was about to hit Rhoda. No, I was not going to hit her. It's a joke. But on the subject, so Rhoda, I'm going to use that as a example. Women be wanting me to defend them. And so I'm going to defend this sister today. I'm going to put up the clips. I'm going to clear her name. I'm going to show the screenshots. But then at the same time, think that they can't be called out of name when all they do is call black men out of their name. And y'all all know, even the women that think it's, Rhoda crazy. Even the women that think it's wrong to call a woman a B word know that they disrespect men. But you know what they think? You a man, you can take it. No. Just like black men have to understand sex is marriage so they don't violate these women and trick them. Women got to know disrespect is even too. And if you give disrespect, you get disrespect. And so when this story, Xavier Worthy, that woman gets the restraining order against him, gets him arrested. Do you know she was lying? Let's see. So this is the update. So Xavier Worthy, the reason why his fiance was mad was because Xavier Worthy hired a private investigator and caught his fiance cheating on him. And she had to now leave the house. He asked her to leave his house, and she refused for several days. She put the hands on Worthy, scratching his face, pulling out his hair, and Worthy calls the police. Worthy pressed no charges. Jones is the one that pressed charges because she got caught cheating on him. The DA dropped the case when he showed the video evidence. That's what women get to do to black men. With that, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I'm about to go work out. I'm going to do. Until then, shalom.